Hey guys, this is San. I just want to throw together a really quick stat generation video demonstration. I noticed that the top rated video on YouTube for Dungeons & Dragons stat generation is 19 minutes long, which seems a little inaccessible to me. So this is really just going to be a quick run through and no frills and obviously no production value. I'm just going to show you the basic way to generate stats for a D&D character, okay? Obviously, this only really applies to Dungeons & Dragons. Other games, feel free to drop me a note if you want to see me do it, but I'm not really focused on that right now. All right, so the first thing that you will need for Dungeons & Dragons stat generation is this. This is your basic D6. It is a totally common cubical die with 6 numbers on it, and you can find them in any board game ever, because generally that's what they are. Now, if you only have 1 or 2 of these suckers, you can roll them multiple times. I'm a veteran player, so I have 4 of them. Actually, I have like 40, but for these purposes, we only need 4. 4d6, all right? Shake them. Roll them. Now, the most common way to generate stats is to roll 4d6 and drop the lowest number that you get. Here are the numbers that I have gotten. You see those? 2 1s, 2 5s, which is obviously not great. Now, when we talk about dropping the lowest number, all we mean is taking the number that's the lowest, in this case it's a 1, and I have 2 of them, so it doesn't matter which one I drop, and we just take it away. Now, we have 1, 2, 3d6 showing the numbers. We just add them together and we get our stat. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. I now have a stat of 11. I'll write that down. All right, now, in the tradition of the slightly more permissive campaigns, I'm going to do this 7 times. I have 6 stat slots. So what I'm going to do is roll 7 times and drop the lowest. You see how this kind of insulates us for getting a whole run of really crappy scores. So let's do this real quick. All right. You see there my roll? I have 2, 3, 3, and 5. 2 is obviously the low number on that score, so we're just going to take it away. And that leaves us with 5 plus 3, which is 8, plus 3, which is 11. So I have another 11. I'm not rolling well today. That's okay, it's just for demonstration. All right, one more time. I'm not changing these dice. You'll know because they're crappy. I have a 5, a 1, and a 3. Now again, you notice that my low die are the same. And when that happens, it legitimately does not matter what one you drop, as long as you just drop 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 5 is 9, so I have a 9. A lot of sympathy for this character if they don't start getting high stat rolls here. Okay. Latest stat roll. Here we go. I received a 6, a 5, a 1, and a 3. 1, obviously the low number there, leaving me with 3, 5, and 6. 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 3 is 14. I have a 14. That's better than I've been rolling. Okay. Another awful, awful roll. That's okay. Again, this is just for demonstration. 1, 2, 3 3s, and a 2. 2 is the lowest, so we drop it, leaving us with 9. All right, so that's 5 stats rolled. So we just need 2 more. Okay. All right. You see here I have a 1, a 2, a 5, and a 5. 1 is the lowest again, so that leaves me with 5, 10, 12 total. a stat that is a 12. Hope I get something really good. I got a 16. Looking down here at the roll, we have a 1, a 5, a 5, and a 6. So we get rid of the 1 because it's the lowest, and that leaves us with 5, 10, and 16. My only high stat. All right. Having done that 7 times, I now have a block. This down a little more. I now have a block of 7 stats. Looks like this. I'm sorry if it's backwards. That's I got an 11, 11, a 9, a 14, a 9, a 12, and a 16. So since I only have 6 stats, that means I get to drop the lowest. Well, obviously the lowest is one of the 9s. So we'll just cross that right out there. And there's my stats. Now I need to look at my class and at my species and see where they need to go and what I need to improve. And I know this looks probably really pathetic by anybody else's eyes, but the truth is, as far as a starting character, especially now for 5th edition is concerned, this is honestly not that horrible. The new race and subrace gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms of where you need to put high stats. And some of the classes that we're used to being stat eaters, like Monk and Paladin, like they have to have a ton of high stats, aren't that way anymore. So if you get something like this, don't get discouraged. You know, just if you really feel like you want to roll again, talk to your DM. Maybe they'll be merciful. But if not, don't sweat it too horribly. Now, the other one that I was going to show you is a much more sort of hardcore system. And that is the plain roll 3d6 6 times. Obviously, this gives you absolutely no room to sort of bump your stats up a little bit. It doesn't give you any room to get out of it if you roll something terrible like a 3. You know, but some people, you know, say that that makes the game more fun. You know, the potential that you might get a 3, and then obviously if you're a fighter, you'll put that in intelligence. But so really it just goes exactly the same as the previous system did, except now we are only using 3 d6s. So shake those up, roll them, and as you can see, I got a 9. So you can see that your potential for getting high scores is much lower and your potential for getting low scores is much greater than when you do a drop roll rather than a straight roll. And that's the terminology that some people use. I'm sure it's not universal. But when you roll several dice and you get rid of one to improve your score, or not improve it, some people drop highest, that's a drop roll. If you roll the dice and just take what you get, that's a straight roll. Okay? So those are the 2 most common methods. Rolling 4, dropping the lowest, roll 7 times, drop the lowest, and then rolling 3, 6 times, and just taking whatever you get. Now, you'll notice variation in between groups and different things like that. In the D&D 5e PHB, it says roll 4d6 and drop the lowest, but only do it 6 times. So you don't have the chance to roll an extra stat and drop the lowest. You have to take the 6 that you get. So just kind of be aware that that sort of variation is out there. But now that you know the basics of how the math works, it shouldn't be too terribly difficult for you to pick up. If you have questions, my inbox is always open. And I have played, I think most of the systems under the sun, so I can probably help you with generation in just about any of them. All right, well, that's it, and we clocked in at just about half time, and that was with me doing all 7 rolls, so I think we did pretty good. And Son is out. If you need help with anything else, let me know.